Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to All Things Health. I'm your host, Heather Lounsbury. Thanks for joining today. I'm calling in from Los Angeles, California. I'm super excited to have on Carmit Bachar today, formerly of the Pussycat Dolls. She'll be coming on and joining us in just a few moments. I wanted to let my listeners know, I realized I've never announced this before, those of you who've been listening to me for a while, that I also do phone consultations for those of you who have been listening to me and thinking like, oh, I'd love to see Heather, but I don't live in Southern California. I do phone consultations for nutrition and herbal supplements. So if you have any interest in that and would like to get support in getting healthier, I would love to help you. You can either email me at info@getnaturalgetwell. That's info@getnaturalgetwell.com, or you can call my office at 310-259-5165. That's 310-259-5165. And to call in today, the number is 347-884-9533. That's 347-884-9533. I'm going to bring Carmit on the line just now. Hi, Carmit, are you there? Uh-oh, it's not going through. Hi, Carmit, are you there?
I'm here. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Hello?
Oh, can't you hear me?
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Can
you hear me?
I lost you.
Uh-oh. Call again, maybe? Okay, so we're having some technical difficulties today. I'm sorry about that. I'm sure she'll call right back. And in the meantime, please call in with any questions for me or Carmit. We're going to be talking about a project that's really close to her heart. It's called Project Smile With Me, which she started. It helps children with cleft palate disorder. Let's see if I can get her on the line now.
I'm here.
Oh, yay!
Yay!
Okay, we'll
oh my.
over.
Yes, we'll start over. I was like, I think I lost you.
So thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me. I think this is so cool, having the Blog Talk Radio, because it's just really informative and you're just really wonderful, and I hope people get to know what you do and make sure they go out and see you and learn how important acupuncture is, really.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So why don't you, I'm sure most people listening know who you are, but if you want to give a little background for those of you who might not be familiar with you.
Sure. Well, my name is Carmit Bachar, and most people know me formerly of the Pussycat Dolls. I was an original member for 13 years, and I left the group about a year and a half ago to pursue other projects and kind of evolve as an artist and a creative entrepreneur, and, I have a lot of other things that are really dear to my heart, aside from being a pop star. So I would love to talk about some of them today and kind of get people on my page about what I'm doing and what to look out for.
Great. So tell us a little bit about Project Smile With Me and how you first started this.
Yeah, Project Smile With Me came about because I really realized that with the notoriety that, I got from the success of the group, I just really wanted to be a voice that was heard and be able to kind of reach out to people and just have access to having them know more about, awareness about birth defects, and specifically something that was close to me is that what I went through is cleft lips and cleft palate. And people don't know that it's the statistics are very interesting. 1 in 600 children are born with cleft lip and cleft palate. It's the third most common birth defect. And Yeah, actually, and thankfully here in the United States, they can get the care that they need immediately. When you're, a baby born, you have your lip repaired, and within another 6 months you can have your palate repaired. But in third world countries, they're not so privy to these operations, and they're really sort of simple surgeries, but people don't have the know about, let alone the money or access to these things. So Operation Smile is an incredible organization, nonprofit organization. It's been around for over 25 years that goes around the world and actually performs these surgeries. And I'm an ambassador to Operation Smile, and I've had some incredible experiences. And a couple of years ago, I went to Bolivia on a mission, and I took my project, which is called Project Smile with Me, along on the mission with Operation Smile. And basically what my project is I would love to inspire and instill inner beauty in children through creative arts and activities, and specifically children born with cleft lip and cleft palate is where I'm starting, but not limited to. I plan to expand on everything. We've gone to orphanages and so on. So there's definitely no limit to it, but that's sort of where I've started this whole project. And I'm planning on, I actually was supposed to go to Peru on another mission in May, but most of the South American missions got postponed due to the swine flu. So I'm looking forward to going in October to Peru.
Well, at least you'll be going soon. So what exactly are you doing with these kids to help them with their creativity and self-esteem and so forth?
When each mission is different, it depends on the hospital you're at, and some countries are going to have better facilities than others. I've heard some stories of where, like in Africa, it's raining and it'd be like walking in mud, a foot up their leg, and the post-op sort of building was literally across the way, like a far distance from where the surgery, building was. And they would have to, have children on the, what do you call it? The
gurney?
The bed, the gurney, but they were iron gurneys with no mattress pads, and they'd have to wheel them like across the mud to where the post-op was. I mean, there's definitely different circumstances for each country depending on, the level of poverty, which is unfortunate. But so it's kind of like you get there, you assess the situation, and you kind of get in where you fit in, and you just, you dive into the trenches like that, and, whatever works in the right time. But mostly what my project we do is we get in the first 2 days, most importantly, when all the children have traveled from miles away to be there to go through the screening process to see if they are even a candidate for the surgery.
Right.
And it can be very nerve-wracking. They're tired. They're there all day. They're waiting. Usually they're with their families, like the entire families are there. And they're nervous. They're scared, They don't know really what's going on or what to expect. And, they hope that they are going to get, be lucky enough to have the surgery. And so during that time, we just want to have fun, and we do arts and crafts. And, I used to do rhythmic gymnastics, so I bring out my little ribbons and, dance, and we sing, and we make, all kinds of, we paint, or we do, there's anything that fits in. I literally go with like 2 suitcases full of art supplies, and I leave with nothing. I leave it all there with the kids or with the orphanage or the hospital. We make banners where they all contribute, and then we leave it on the wall, and it's really beautiful. It's a real reminder of the miracles that are performed there, and the people with their generosity and compassion that come over to this country. The doctors and the nurses are really the heroes. They take their paid vacations and pay their way there and work the whole time, like surgery from 5 in the morning till 10 at night. It's really incredible. So, and I can't say enough to anybody who's ever, thinking about volunteering, because you go in thinking, you're going to give and help these children, and you get so much more in return. It's really beyond, and it's really touching just to see their smiles. So it's worth it all.
Yeah, I always have that experience when I volunteer, especially with children. I've done a lot of work with children, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to help them and brighten their day. Like, wow, they've just changed my life. You know,
Totally.
a room of 5-year-olds have changed my life after a couple of hours.
Yeah, totally. It's true.
Yeah. Let me give out the number really quickly, and we'll move on.
Okay.
It's 347-884-9533. It's 347-884-9533. Do you want to share a couple of stories of inspiration of kids that you've met over the years?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I remember a couple of children from this past Bolivia trip, and one of them, you know, I actually brought my business partner in crime, and co-creator, producer of the Zodiac show. He's like my brother. His name is Lee Cherry. And he came along with me, and my mother came, and I had another girlfriend of mine. She goes by the spoken word poet name of Mama Zune, and then a painter named Filippo Iocco. And he did like little paintings like on the children's faces or on their arms. Little boys wanted soccer balls, and the little girls, you know, wanted hearts or flowers, and just literally, you know, it was adorable, and they were it was just like, they're just thrilled. They thought it was fascinating, you know. And then the most interesting part that we don't even think about is, you know, we're taking pictures. So Lee is an incredible photographer, and he also directs the Zodiac show. And I asked him to bring a video camera so we could record it, but of course he was taking 1,000 pictures. And so, you know, he's got a digital camera, and he takes a picture of, you know, this little girl who's like just wondering what's going on while Filippo's painting like a heart on her face. And so I told Lee, I said, show her the picture, you know, because it was so cute. He took a picture. I'm like, and I said to her, I said in Spanish, I was like, look, a heart. I said, mira, un corazón. And she looked at this picture like she had never seen herself before. Not the heart, but herself. And it never occurred to me that these people really possibly don't even have mirrors.
Yeah.
And so she was blown away. It was just, that moment was so mind-blowing. So the next day we went into the city, we bought, like everybody bought some stuff, and, you know, from the culture, and I bought these little mirrors, and I was like handing them out to some of the kids, because the girls, they don't look in the mirror ever. So forget that we were all like, cool, you have a really pretty painted heart or flower on your face. They had never seen themselves. It was amazing. And then Lee, I wanted to, you know, film the actual process, the surgery process, and we had to get in the full deal, the full garb, the scrubs, and the head, you know, the shower cap thing. And yeah, well, you know, for me it was something that I was always very fascinated with, because I went through so many surgeries. I probably went through like at least one surgery for each year of my life until I was 16. And, you know, it's a lot to grow up in the hospital. You know, it's not my favorite place in the world, but it definitely, you know, gave me an appreciation for, I mean, there's some people that have like never had a surgery, and that's crazy to me, or never have been close to what some people go through. So, and there was this one little girl through the screening process that I fell in love with her. Her name was Galea. Mm-hmm. And her mother was really sweet, and I asked her if I could go through the surgery with her, and she said yes. And that was awesome. She actually wanted me to. And so I went through each step from the, you know, pre-op to the actual surgery. Watching the entire thing done was pretty intense, and you know, and then through post-op, and I held her, you know, after the surgery, and it was very cathartic, you know, to know exactly what she was feeling, and remember the feelings, you know, just going through that. And she was so darn cute and beautiful, and her mother asked me to be her godmother.
Wow,
Oh,
an honor.
Yeah, I know. So I have to make it down to Bolivia soon again. And see her. But she was absolutely adorable and precious. I think there's some pictures on my MySpace, Smile with Carmit, of Galea, me holding her over my shoulder. She's adorable.
Aw, I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, for sure.
So how many kids do they normally? Is it a constant thing where are they in an area for a few weeks, a month? How is this set up?
Operations, you can go on operationsmile.org and you look under the mission schedule and you can find where they are. They are literally in at least 2 different countries, or at least 1 country a month, if not more. It's usually a couple, though. And they're all over the world, and so they're constantly going out. I mean, they visit the same country, I think, twice within a year, too, because they have to go back and kind of, check on the kids that they did work on. Some people need a second part of their surgery, like if a kid got the cleft lip fixed first and then they go back in and do the palate or, whatnot. They can't do both at the same time. So it's great. The work that they do is really amazing, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And it's really an honor to go out on those missions.
Oh, I bet, especially since you've been through it yourself.
Yeah.
Is that normal for children to need that many surgeries like you had, or is that atypical?
The thing is we're privy to that care here in the States, where medically they do whatever needs to be done. After I was 16, I was medically done, and then I think cosmetically I had one more rhinoplasty. Just for me being in the public eye and on TV and things, I had little qualms about, how I wanted something to look. But medically the doctors were like, "You're beautiful," and I'm like, "Thank you."
Well, they definitely did a great job.
Thank you. But it's amazing. Literally, just that one simple surgery to close the lip or close the palate or whatever in these countries changes their lives forever, really.
I'm sure. I had no idea so many children were born this way because I guess here, since the surgeries are done so early in life, we just don't even see it.
Yeah, well, it is interesting, seeing more. Somebody who you obviously know but might not know is cleft lip is Joaquin Phoenix, the actor.
Yes.
And I love that scar about him. I think it gives him character. It's really cool, and it's definitely, for a guy, it's like, oh, he has a scar. It's like rough, rugged, and stuff. And that, when I was younger as a girl, it wasn't cool to me. But now I really just embrace it, and I love it, and it's a part of who I am and my identity. And it's given me a lot of really great things to be a cause for, like this work with Operation Smile and my project Smile With Me. When
did you get involved with Operation Smile?
I think it was, it's got to be like at least 3.5 years ago now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's funny. Growing up, I always donated to them, but and then when I started with the dolls, actually Ken Paves, who's Jessica Simpson's, hairstylist, I ran into him and he showed me pictures of a mission that he had gone on in Africa. And I said, oh, my God, I've always donated to Operation Smile. I would love to just be a part of it more. And he's like, you should be an ambassador. And he gave me the contact, and then we spoke, and it was just like immediate. It just made sense. I'm practically a spokesmodel, for them. so
well,
it's cool.
I'm glad I can have you on to talk about it.
Thank you so much.
And let me give out the number again. Then we'll talk some about your music projects that are going on. It's 347-884-9533. That's 347-884-9533. is there anything you want to tell my listeners about the project and how they can get involved and different things they could do for the organization?
Right now I'm setting up some stuff so that I will be able to do some sort of merch sales that with all the profits that go to Project Smile with Me. And that will definitely help the funding. And unfortunately right now that's kind of all that is available, and I just appreciate everybody's support and everything and all the letters that I've gotten and emails and things. It's really great. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people are actually moved or are cleft lip, cleft palate, say, oh my God, thank you so much for, speaking out, and it's really helped me. And, it's really great, and it feels good to know that, people are listening. But we're going to get something set up soon enough so that those funds can help the next mission and, upcoming missions. So I'm in the process of doing that because I'm not a nonprofit myself anymore. So the only way to donate would be to Operation Smile, and that, of course, always helps them. So for now, they can do that.
Okay. But you're going to set up Project Smile with Me to be a separate entity? And
well, it is, but it's not a nonprofit. So I have to set up something though so that we can so that can work though.
Okay, great. And with Project Smile with Me, can people go? Would they have to connect directly to Operation Smile to go on these trips, or how does that work?
Yeah, you know what? As of right now, it's kind of difficult to get on the volunteer staff, I guess, for Operation Smile. I didn't know that. I mean, first and foremost, you definitely, when they go, they have to pay their way, and the doctors and nurses pay their way, and then they kind of have Operation Smile has their own staff that knows how to kind of run the whole thing, and they're usually in a country for a couple of weeks, I say, not more than 2. From start setting up operations to finish. But other than that, I think they have like high school kids that there's some sort of program where they, have the opportunity to do this. And I'm not quite sure who it's through or the name of it. Probably if somebody wanted to, they could research that on the website. But, I think it's sort of it's kind of a tight ship, but there's so many other opportunities for people to volunteer anywhere that will make a difference.
Yeah, obviously. There's plenty of things to be done right in our own backyards. Our neighbors need help right now with the economy. There's lots of things that we can do. There's always a women's shelter to volunteer at, or pet shelter, animal shelter.
Yes.
That's how I got my kitties.
Yay.
Yes. So let's move on to music. Let's talk about your latest projects, what you've been up to since you left the Pussycat Dolls. I'm sure people would love to hear it.
Yeah, well, last year was sort of really committed to the Zodiac show. We were doing a deal with Interscope, and that was sort of the main focus of last year, which we did the show in September, and it was an awesome success, and we're definitely planning to do another one before the end of the year. We've all just been super, super busy. One of our family members, Adam Lambert, meanwhile, practically, well, in our eyes, won American Idol. And I actually just really started focusing on my music, and I've been working with some incredible producers, Jared Gosselin, and we call him Whitey, are my team. I have some writers, Nicolette, and different people, Chanel, they go by the name of Arquillas, like all these really cool people that have contributed to making some really fun stuff. And, just kind of focusing on the new sound, and I think that was most important for me, is to kind of find out what that was for me. I mean, I know everybody knows what kind of music they like. It's a wide variety, but you kind of have to hone in on what people are going to be able to recognize you as an artist with, So, of course, I love, performing, entertaining, dancing, and that had to be a big part of it. So the sound kind of came out, I would say, it's hard to categorize, but definitely a fusion of like a dance pop, style. But it's not done. I have a bunch of songs, but the record's not done. So anything can happen at this point. I'm working on some other stuff. Macy Gray, she's gonna write with me, and I'm super excited. I mean, there's just so much that the industry does have to offer. You just kind of have to create your own new path. You know what I mean? It's definitely an open playing field, and there's a lot of things that are transitioning, within the industry, in life, in music, and just, there have been so many influences too. I mean, just with, Michael Jackson passing, it kind of reminds you of all the things that are really important to you, or like the messages that he said. Even though he had really great music, he always had a message, in them. And so, I would love to be that kind of artist as well. I want to have fun and, as well as have some really meaningful stuff, be said and heard and listened for.
Who else besides Michael Jackson has been a big influence on you musically?
Wow.
Too many to name.
What?
Too many to name.
Yeah, so many. I mean, I think, with my experience having worked with some really incredible artists really helped pave the path for me to just understand what it really means to be an artist. I mean, by nature, I was always an artist, but just I learned a lot from the people that were very generous and humble in this industry, Michael Jackson being one of them. I worked with him, and, I've worked with Ricky Martin, an incredible, generous person and beautiful spirit who has started his own, organizations for the cause that he believes in, which is child trafficking. Just the prevention of, it's really incredible. I mean, something changed his life. He saw a video of something and he hasn't been the same since, and he's really put it out there so that people are really aware of it, not just like it's something that happens over there, So it's pretty impactful. I've worked with Beyonce, who's, genuinely a beautiful, hardworking girl. And we're both Virgos. We have the same birthday, so I get her. And then someone like, Gwen Stefani, when I met her years ago, we just kind of clicked, and we have sort of kindred spirits, and, definitely see eye to eye and had fun. And she always was just so wonderful and, just shared the stage. She wasn't, it was a gift. Everything was a gift to her, and I'm so glad that now she has the gift of what she always wanted, children, and, she's married and a great life and, business, and she still gets to perform. And I just look up to people like that have created everything they wanted for themselves in life. And, and I aspire to be that. And right now I'm on my solo music part of that journey.
Right.
Yeah.
So can your fans expect an album by the end of the year, or where is that going?
Oh, absolutely. I actually have a digital deal in process and some other deals in the works right now. So we're expecting a single to be out no later than late September. And I know my fans are probably like, what the hell? Because initially I said early 2009, but you know what? You can't rush creativity. Oh. And it's like, you want things to happen by a certain deadline, but it's just, I want it to be the best. I want it to be right. And I want everybody to really enjoy it. So I've been working really hard with a lot of different people and people that I love and admire and respect and that are passionate about what they do, and it's just fun and inspiring being in the studio. It's a great experience. So creating music is pretty awesome because there's so much you can do with it. And, so they could definitely expect a single by late September.
Okay, great. And how about touring?
Touring, I haven't gotten that far yet, but for sure there's a tour to follow the record. I mean, that's part of mostly it's not, just about me making music. It's about me getting out there to share it and perform it. I'm an entertainer at heart, so it definitely comes along with the full show.
That's so exciting. So it sounds like you're incredibly busy. What do you do to stay healthy and active and full of energy?
That's a good question.
Tie it into the health.
Yeah. Everything has to be, balanced, mind, body, and soul. And yes, I work hard, but I also make sure that, I eat right and, once occasionally have a little, cheat times. And then I just go and play with my dogs. We go to the beach, or, I have a Pilates machine at my house and a treadmill and stuff like that. But I do go to the gym occasionally, but I can also just do it right here at my house, or biking. I go biking a lot with some friends. The beach is a great workout. I like to do things that are interactive, not just the gym, because I think that gets boring to me.
Oh, yeah.
But, and then I love dance classes, of course. Every so often it's really fun to get back into that because it's something that I really love, and everybody wants to, keep up on their art. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And then, of course, come to see you for general health, and acupuncture is very important. And then once in a while, do my favorite thing to treat myself is go to the spa.
That's one of my favorite things to do, too. Do you get massage and facial, the whole thing?
Oh, well, not facial, but I definitely get massage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could get them every day.
I know, right? I think we'd all be way more peaceful if we could have a massage every day.
Or at least once a month. I try to, sometimes my schedule gets so crazy, but at least monthly.
Yeah.
And then I always
definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're taking care of yourself and letting the listeners know what you're up to on that front. Because with your kind of schedule, I can't even imagine having the energy you have and still looking so great at the same time. So.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's important to take the time. Sometimes, this is a fast-paced city, and it gets kind of crazy, and you have a lot of obligations, and you have to be here and be there, and there's red carpets, and then you have to hair and makeup, and sometimes you need to relax, and it's hard to wind down, and so sometimes, I meditate if I have to really slow it down and just hang. Swim, jacuzzi.
So let's talk about the Zodiac show, because you mentioned it, but I'm sure a lot of listeners, especially the ones that aren't in L.A., would like to hear what it is, why you created it, the concept, who's in it, all of that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, the Zodiac show is awesome. It is, we've always tried to describe it so many different ways. It's an experience, really. You have to come and see it and check it out. So if you live somewhere else, come to L.A. and see it. No, and hopefully we'll be in a city near you soon. We're looking to do a huge tour soon, sooner than later. Obviously, I would think that's going to get off the ground next year. But right now, I guess to explain it, it's a multi-genre, multi-diverse, extravaganza show, including live music and dancers and everything from aerial and specialty acts like fire and like all kinds of stuff, all rolled into one big burrito, and it's fantastic. It's super fun. What'd you say?
What inspired you to create this incredible show? I've seen it myself personally, and I highly recommend it to anyone who can make it to the next show. You said it should hopefully be by the end of the year. I'm like, I've never experienced anything like it, and every person in it is incredibly talented. So.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's kind of what we started it for. I mean, it's a platform for diversity. I think that, being in LA, everybody has their gigs and what they do, and sometimes you want to have a forum for where you can create something that you really want to do. And it's sort of that open playing field in that way. I mean, there's so many different types of artists, and everybody does something unique. And we actually started off at Lee Cherry, my partner. He had this photo studio that we used to have after hours at, and it was so much fun. So even like after the Pussycat Dolls shows, we'd all come to the after hours and hang out, and everybody from, Janet Jackson to like, Usher, people would be like in the corner because it was kind of like a dark, like underground playground where everybody's kind of like danced and hung out, and it was fun. And throughout the night, it would turn into like a jam session, and people would get on the mic, or musicians would play this, and the dancers would get in the circle, and then somebody would do fire, which you probably shouldn't have done at that time in that building with the wood ceilings, but, it was just one of those things that was so magical. We're like, geez, we should really do this for real, like a real show, because everybody would love this and enjoy it. And so, of course, that was the genesis of the idea of the Zodiac show. We all love astrology, and we kind of, listen to the general themes, the astrological themes, of our signs, and we kind of incorporated those as guidelines and sort of through lines for the story in the show, and that's how we tie the pieces together in our minds. And maybe if somebody's watching the show, they don't see that or they don't get that, but either way, they're thoroughly entertained.
Yeah.
But it just kind of it's kind of evolved on itself. We've been doing it for almost 6 years, and it's grown so much. We've had a lot of guest celebrities from Macy Gray to Dita Von Teese, Victor Duplay, and lots of Eric Benet. Oh, no, Eric Benet didn't perform yet. But a lot of people, I mean, there's always a lot of people in the audience, too, who just like, I want to do the show, And it's super awesome. The energy is just spectacular. And we've been doing it. We've had a home at Avalon for the past, I think it's 4 years now. 5 years maybe, and we want to continue to be there and kind of build something that's going to be consistent at Avalon, as well as eventually take something around, on tour, and then hopefully have something, like a sit-down show that lives in Vegas as well, like a super show. Yeah, but actually right now we're crossing our fingers that we might make it into Sundance. We submitted something, so we'll see how that goes. But something else that's really, really cool is that we just joined up with this really cool site called Dip Dive, and it's something that actually was started by will.i.am for the Black Eyed Peas. He's the chairman. And it's basically an artist site that's created for artists, created by artists for artists. Mm-hmm. And it's super cool. It's, it's not just for like posting a video where people get like famous for a minute, It's about curating and discovering new artists. And it actually kind of provides leading edge tools to young and upcoming artists, not for the record labels, it's for the artists, to put out their content and share using like you can do it through your BlackBerry, and they actually just did a deal. Dip Dive did a deal with BlackBerry. So they only have right now about 16 channels, and they've asked us to have our own channel. So it'll be Dip Dive and Zodiac Show. So we're really excited. It's not up yet, but soon it will be. I think it's like dipdive.com, and then we'll be on their homepage of one of the channels, so you guys can like tune in, and it's pretty cool. So we're excited about that. Mm-hmm.
I love the idea. That's just so great that people will be able to get more involved and see it. So
yes.
I guess people don't know you've created a documentary about the show, correct?
Yes. It's sort of, initially it was sort of, Lee likes to call it a love letter to the cast and everything because it was sort of like we all put so much love and hard work into it, and then we always, put together, a recording, a viewing of the actual show, but there was so much great footage behind the scenes that we ended up like just making it sort of like a rockumentary, like behind the scenes making of as well as the show. And And when we viewed it, and had a viewing, everybody really, really loved it. And then there's also just a really great story behind it because we had lost one of our really, really good friends earlier that end of the summer last year. And he was a big inspiration for some of the numbers that we did, especially the finale. And so we really dedicated the show to him, and we know for sure that he was there in spirit, and it was a beautiful feeling that night, whether people knew what the situation or the story was. So we're kind of putting more of that story behind it because that's reality. That's the real behind the scenes of what goes on, and it's moving. So that's kind of the basis of what the new rockumentary behind the scenes that we submitted to Sundance is about.
I would love it if you got in. That's incredible.
Yeah, it'd be really awesome. We're really excited. So
I did see the documentary with you. It was also quite a treat, and Lee directed that as well, right?
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, Got a lot of stuff going on. We're definitely busy. It's all good.
Let me give out the number one more time. Come on, everyone. Let's take advantage of being able to talk to the Carmit here. It's 347-884-9533. That's 347-884-9533. So how did you meet Lee Cherry?
Wow, Lee Cherry I actually met through my friend Karen Kaplan, who now goes by Scarlett, but we met in a musical, in 95 that we did together, and she soon after met Lee and started dating him, and now they're married. And so we were all just really good friends, and that's kind of how the whole Zodiac show transpired and spawned from our relationships and our friendships and how we grew together. So Lee's like my bro, man. We just we bounce off of each other ideas, and just one thing leads to the next. But at the end of the day, him and I are the ones that kind of just are on the constant day to day, making this project move forward. So it's good stuff. He's my partner in crime.
And a great guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, and let's talk about your Zodiac family member, Adam Lambert, a little bit. I'm sure people would love to hear how you first met him and got him involved in your project, and we're so happy for him, right?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I remember we were doing the show last year, and in the middle of the rehearsal process, he was like, I think I'm going to do American Idol. And everybody was like, what? Shocking. Because in our eyes, he's unbelievable, amazing. We were like, what do you need to do that for? You know what I mean? We're like, you are the American Idol. And he was like, I know, but he's like, I just want to go out there and, do my thing. And you know what I mean? He's like, you can't pay for that publicity. You know what I mean? It's amazing. And literally, I mean, it's exactly what he said. In the course of 6 weeks, he's an overnight international superstar.
Yeah.
And it's just phenomenal what's happening. I mean, he's living his dream right now, and we just went to go see the American Idol show tour, and he walked in, and he was like, I'm so sick. He's like, my voice. And then I was like, welcome to the world.
We have a caller on the line. We have a caller on the line. Let's bring them on. Hi, caller. How are you today?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Hi.
Do you have a question for Carmit?
Yeah. Hi, Carmit. I'm a dancer myself. My name's Fallon Mercedes, and I do other things in entertainment. And I feel like I've struggled trying to break into the industry. What helped you break in? Right now, I live in Massachusetts, and I'm debating about moving to L.A. But some people say, you don't want to be a small fish in a big pond. What advice would you give to me and maybe to other people out there who are trying to break in?
Well, hi, first of all.
Hi.
Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. To tell you the truth, I have to be honest with you, L.A. is the source of where most of the work for dancers is available, except if you're going to do more of like a Broadway feel, then obviously you go to New York. But if you're looking to get into anything from, just industrial gigs to dancing for an artist, going on tour, to commercial work, to anything that really involves dance is really kind of centered here in Los Angeles, from, tapings to, anything usually happens here in L.A. So you kind of got to be in it. You can't just be like in Massachusetts and get a gig and fly over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, and the other part of it is that there are a lot of dancers. It's really saturated right now, with people coming to L.A. and maybe wanting to be a dancer. And so I think for you, finding what is your specialty, what is going to make you different, set you apart from other dancers, and really hone in on that so that when you come out here, if you do come here and move here and get in the loop, that's people are going to remember you for that or by that, whether it's an image or locking in what you do as a specialty act, and then start taking classes from people that are working with artists that you want to work with. You know what I mean? Because you go to an audition and there's going to be hundreds of people there. What is going to set you apart? Well, the choreographer may say, oh, I saw that person killing it in my master class. They were in the front. I noticed them. I remembered them. You go up to them after the class. You say, thank you. I just want to introduce myself and, let you know that I'm here in L.A. now. I want to work or whatever. You just got to take all the initiatives to set yourself apart.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, totally. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. And can I ask just one more thing? What was the moment or what did it for you that helped you break in?
Well, I was born and raised in L.A., so I kind of grew up in the industry, and my parents were, in the entertainment industry as well, movies and all that kind of stuff. So growing up here, you kind of get a sense of it and how it works. So I was sort of, working. I got Julie McDonald from now, who's, MSA, was my agent when I was 14. And I started working really consistently, after I was 18. And I think for me, I also came from rhythmic gymnastics, which I did for 9 years. And
I did gymnastics too.
You do?
Yeah, I did it. I did it for probably 7 years. I did it up till I was like 15. Yeah.
Oh, cool. What, rhythmic or artistic?
Say that again?
Did you do artistic, like bar and beam and all that stuff?
Yeah, I did everything. I did floor, bar, beam, vault, and then, after I stopped doing that, I just worked on full-time dance.
Cool. Well, there's part of your edge, maybe come up with something that is, what's something really cool gymnastics-wise that you can incorporate to your freestyle every time you do it. And people go, oh, my God, there's that cool-ass thing that, oh, sorry, can I say that on the radio?
Yes, you can say yeah.
Like there's... there's that cool move that girl does. And you know what I mean? That'll become your trademark or something like that, because for me it was rhythmic gymnastics. And I always either pulled out my ribbon, which I don't know if you saw in the piece that I did with Brian Friedman on Dancing with the Stars. He was like, I want you to do your ribbon. I was like, whoa, okay, take me back. Yeah, that's cool,
Okay, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
For sure. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Good luck to you. Let me give out the number one last time. It's 347-884-9533. It's 347-884-9533. And you were talking about Adam being backstage and exhausted and everything. Well, let's get back to that.
Oh yeah. Let's get back to that. Yeah, I just remember, it was just so interesting going to the Staples. I hadn't been there like since I've been to see concerts, but I haven't been there, like, in the back, to see, like, the whole thing, the operation, like, the way from the other side. This time, like, I was coming to see Adam, and he was, like, here, and then going to the meet and greet, and then running over here, coming to see his family, his friends, and he was utterly exhausted. And he walked in, and he was like, my voice, and I was like, okay, zip it. You need to stop talking. And I was like, you need to get some rest. So I was like, I love you, and I know it's crazy, but you have to rest. Because the sad thing about being on the road when you just work, because he's also recording his album on the free time. So they're doing the tour, and any other day he has free, he's working on his album because he's got a deadline. I think he's going to try and release 2 by the end of September. So, it's a lot of pressure, just to make it great. It's his dream, and he's working really hard, and then he's on tour, and it's a lot. It demands a lot. People don't realize it takes a lot out of you, and when you're like that worn out and stressed and tired, it's hard to get better when you get sick. There's no real recovery time, and that's why actually, like acupuncture was always really important to me, because massage and acupuncture help, get you back to a balanced state for sure. General health is just really important in maintaining anything. I mean, if you're burned out, then you're done, So, anyway.
I'm going to have to send him a little reminder of what I do, because I saw him, we were celebrating the second to the last show when he got through to the final, and I said, remember, you're going to need me when you're running around the world and super famous.
Yep.
And it sounds like he already needs me.
Yes, totally, he does. I felt for him. I mean, I just felt the whole, when he walked in the room, I was like, oh my God, that place, when it's just like, it doesn't seem like there's any time to rest anytime soon, and there really isn't. It's like a whirlwind, and he's on it. Yeah. I've had some time to kind of get back into my life, which is cool. But we're excited. I mean, it's so cool that Adam, is just, he's like family to us, and it made us so happy just to see him shining every week on American Idol. It wasn't like ever really a competition for him. It was like him getting to showcase himself, and he had a ball, and you could see that because it was just so natural for him, So we're looking forward to his, whole mystery next part of the life. You know what I mean? It's really cool. Yes, his journey.
Patients and I were at that show too, and they said, Heather, it was kind of embarrassing because everybody was cheering for him and not for Chris, and we just felt kind of awkward for Chris because everyone cared about Adam, and that was it. That was the show. And it was every walk of life, too. They were telling me that, teenage girls were screaming for him, and, of course, the gay boys were screaming for him, and then people like my patients who are, in their 50s were excited to see him, and it's just incredible what he's going to be doing. I can't wait.
It really is. It really is. Good stuff. I'm excited because he's really also just, kicked down the doors of just, breaking ground for, for like us, even the Zodiac show, which people always considered as underground. Yeah. And now he's completely mainstream. There's not a household that doesn't even know his name. Whether they like him or not is another story, or whether they pretend to like him or not is another story. But people know who Adam Lambert is, and he is such a beautiful soul that reads through anything, regardless of, the makeup and the outfits that people want to talk about that are controversial or whatever. It's like his vocals are beyond amazing, and as an entertainer, he's phenomenal, and he never disappoints. And then when you get to know him and you hear him talk, you're like, wow, he's awesome. And so that's really groundbreaking for people that kind of have a new way to even see what they thought they knew they didn't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's so sweet and humble, and I've seen him after he was at the second to last show. Like, it just, I was wondering, like, how is he going to be now? Because I hadn't seen him since the whole thing had started, and I didn't, I didn't expect a huge change, but especially he's young and that much fame, but he's still the same down-to-earth guy, and I'm just wishing him the best for sure.
Yes, me too. We're so excited, and hopefully when his single comes out in the time, and then mine comes out around the same time, and then hopefully, actually, I should call him. We should do a song, but but then I know he's so busy, it's crazy. But then hopefully we can make it all plug and play into the next Zodiac show perfectly.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to do it. So we're just about out of time. So if you want to let people know how to find you, find out more about Project Smile and the Zodiac show, if you want to give out those websites.
Sure. I mean, for the Zodiac show, the up and coming, of course, we have thezodiacshow.com, which is actually, we redid our site not too long ago, so it's pretty cool. Check that out. And then we'll have our own channel on dipdive.com. So check that out shortly. That'll be coming soon. And then, of course, I have my myspace.com/the one and only Carmit. I'm also on Twitter. You can follow me at I am Carmit. And then I also have my Smile With Me, Project Smile With Me on MySpace, but I'm terrible. I have not kept it up. I actually have stuff that I want to post. I've just been overwhelmed with a lot of stuff, and there's pictures I need to post, and I still have video footage from when I went to Iraq last year.
Wow.
On a USO trip, so I just haven't been able to, the camera that I had was broken, so I just have a lot of stuff to do, so I apologize. I'm trying to keep up with everything. It's a lot. I'm on Facebook, Carmit Bachar, of course. I do get overwhelmed, so don't get mad at me if I don't respond to you right away. But I'm trying to be cool and keep up with all the internet, forums and things.
It's a lot.
But,
I have a hard time, and of course I'm not nowhere near as famous as you are, and I have a hard time keeping up with it all. So
it's a lot. But it's important to try and stay connected, to friends and fans and family and all that stuff. So I do my best. I'm trying to think of what else. This is like something really fun and kind of crazy, but for Gay Pride out here in Los Angeles, I actually, it's funny, the Monday before that weekend, this girl, Chanel, and the writing team, our killers, Kimberly and Chanel, we wrote this song called Fierce. And I told Scarlett about the lyrics, and she goes, oh, my God, you should perform for Gay Pride. So it literally happened within a week. The song wasn't even really completely done, but I ended up performing it, and it was so much fun. That song is now on my MySpace page. It's called Fierce, and it's just a super kind of ode to my dancer boys and, really kitschy number. And then it's on YouTube. I think it's called Carmit Fierce Performance at Here Lounge. And it's super fun, so check it out.
Definitely, and I'm sure everyone listening is so excited to hear your next album. Good luck with that.
Yes, me too. Yeah, Fierce is actually a fun song. It's not going to be my single, but it's going to be on the album for sure.
Great. Well, thanks so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me, Doc Heather.
My pleasure. We'll do it again sometime after the single or the album comes out. We'll do another show.
Perfect.
Okay. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too, and everybody take care of yourself and listen to Doc Heather.
Thanks, Carmit. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. So that was Carmit Bachar. I hope you enjoyed that show today. It was a lot of fun for me. Next week, I'm having on a panel of speakers. We're going to be talking about women's health, empowering yourself, and specifically, I'm going to have some breast cancer survivors on, a journalist, a doctor. You can check out the link for more info. It's so many names, I won't have time to say them all, so please check that out next week at 10 a.m. And thanks so much for listening. Have a beautiful day. Take care of yourselves. I encourage you to love and support those around you, to do something to help the planet today. and make some kind of change to be healthier and happier in your life. And I'm so looking forward to doing more shows with you. Thanks again for listening.